Dash Rendar was a human male smuggler and freelancer. Born into a wealthy Karelian family during the final years of the Galactic Republic, he chose to pursue a career as an officer in the Imperial Navy rather than joining the family shipping business. When his parents refused to sell their business to Prince Izar, owner of Izar Transport Systems and leader of the Black Sun crime syndicate, the Dark Prince sabotaged a freighter flown by Rendar's older brother, Stanton, killing him as his ship crashed into the Imperial Museum. Emperor Palpatine blamed the Rendar family, exiling them from the core worlds and dismissing Rendar from the Imperial Academy on Karita. Fleeing to the Outer Rim territories, Rendar gained a reputation as a hotshot pilot, smuggler, and mercenary. His success gained him his own ship, the IT-2400 light freighter Outrider, and the services of the Nautolan navigator Eden Brill and the Cybergalactical series repair droid Labio-2D9. In 0BBY, Rendar and Vril agreed to protect Holostar Javalcharn during her tour to pay for repairs to the Outrider after it sustained damage fleeing an Imperial patrol near the Maw. Charn initially claimed that she needed protection from an overzealous fan, but after multiple attempts on her life, Rendar learned that she was a member of the Rebel Alliance and was being pursued by the Imperial Security Bureau and elements of Black Sun, including Izar himself. Rendar ultimately saw Charn safely to Alderaan, but Vril was killed during an assassination attempt on Bannistar Station. Despite his personal reasons for disliking the Empire, Rendar refused to abandon his independence to join the growing rebellion. His motivation was profit and, though he occasionally went on to work for the rebels, he insisted on being well compensated. In 080, Rendar boarded the luxury liner Star of Empire with the intention of stealing it to sell to the rebels. Before he could act, however, the ship's computer, an artificial intelligence known as SIM, took control of the ship itself. Rendar was one of the few passengers trapped aboard and joined forces with the Shiido Mamanhul and his adopted children, Tash and Zakaranda, to escape the ship and defeat SIM. He later took a job escorting the famous swoop racer Kimmich Eiler, smuggling supplies for the rebels as he traveled. His work came to the attention of both the Imperial Security Bureau and Prince Izar, but, despite multiple attempts to stop him, Rendar successfully completed several deliveries. In 3AB, while delivering supplies to the Alliance's Echo base on Hoth, Rendar was trapped on the planet when the Empire attacked and helped Rogue Squadron hold off Imperial ground forces until the rebels could evacuate, destroying an all-terrain armored transport in the process. Following the Battle of Hoth, Rendar was hired by the Lando Calrissian to track down Han Solo, who had been captured by Boba Fett. He eventually led Calrissian to Gaul in the Jar system, but the rebels were unable to rescue their friend. Following this, Rendar was hired by Princess Leia Organa to watch over Luke Skywalker after a recent attempt on his life. After saving Skywalker from a swoop gang on Tatooine, Rendar accompanied him on a mission to recover the plans to the Empire's second Death Star battle station from the Mobcat medium transport Saprosa. The mission was a success, but an apparent mistake by Rendar cost the lives of many Bothan pilots. Seeking to make amends, Rendar helped to rescue Organa when she was held prisoner by Izar in his palace on Coruscant. The Outrider appeared to be destroyed while fleeing Coruscant, but Rendar merely faked his death to avoid reprisals from Black Sun and the Empire. In the following years he teamed up with the human replica droid Guri, forming a mercenary team and eventually establishing a company to create more human replica droid, including a replica of Rendar's own brother, Stanton.